Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a holiday cocktail. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'll show you step by step how to do it from start to finish during the live stream. And I've got my husband Mark with me.
Hey there, everybody.
He's man in chat, so if you can ask questions while I'm painting, and I'll try to answer. Let's get started. Ooh, that intro's quick. A new one. All right, welcome. We're back. It's been a couple weeks. Got a cold, gotten over it. Still a little stuffy, but we're here. So really glad to be back with you guys. We missed you. Hope you guys had a good holidays. And yeah, ready to paint. This is going to be a fun one. I went ahead and did a fairly detailed sketch ahead of time. It took me about, I don't know, a half an hour. And I figured this is going to take all of 2 hours for us to get it finished tonight. So I didn't have time to show you the drawing, but we're going to talk about drawing a little bit later, so remind me, Mark. But I'm using a 9 by 12 inch canvas today. It is one of the Fredrix mixed media canvas boards. It's kind of smoother surface. I really like these, and they have a hard core, so not that this is a commercial or anything for them, but I do really like them, and they're our canvas sponsor, so thank you to them. As far as brushes go, I'm going to probably be using mostly the 6100 series Princeton in different various sizes of flat, bright. The bright are just shorter than the flat. And probably an angle, 61, or no, this is the VelvetTouch 3/8 inch. And then I've got a couple of their blenders as well in different sizes. I'm not really sure which ones I'll use yet. I haven't painted this ahead of time, so you'll get to see the whole process of me figuring it out as we go. I've also got a couple of rounds in case we need some smaller details like the seeds and different things in these oranges. So this was a photograph that I actually took. Yeah, it was not my favorite cocktail of our trip. This was one of the ones that we had on our trip. It was beautiful, though. It was probably the prettiest one. It's not my favorite. All right, so let's go over colors. I'm using fluid paints today, I thought, because this is a fluid and it's going to take a little bit of blending and things. I figured the fluid paints might make it a little easier. I don't know. They're like, you know, merging into one another here, which is not great. But I don't, unless you have a palette that's got like individual wells, this is going to happen with the fluid paints. So we're just going to have to deal with it. I've got burnt umber, burnt sienna, transparent yellow oxide, or regular yellow oxide is fine too. This one is cadmium yellow medium hue, India yellow, Pyrrole orange, Pyrrole Red, Quinacridone Magenta, Ultramarine Blue, Titan Buff, or Unbleached Titanium, and then Titanium White and Gloss, no, this one's Satin Glazing Liquid. And then this one over here is a discontinued brand, but this is actually a really good color for what we're doing, so I grabbed it. Quinacridone Burnt Orange. There's a new color called Benzimidazolone Burnt Orange. That is the replacement for that one. So a burnt orange, or if you don't have it, just mixed up your magenta and burnt sienna will get you a similar color. All right, let's get going here. So I think to start with, I'm just going to kind of paint out the background around it. I think I've got it nailed down pretty well in the drawing. I'm not going to do a ton with the background, but I don't want to have to mess with painting around it later, so I think I'll just go ahead and start there. And I'm going to get the unbleached titanium and some ultramarine blue and some of that burnt sienna and make a gray, and we'll use that kind of to base in around our background here. For those who want to play along, we are going to be doing a drinking game since this is a cocktail night. If you don't have cocktail, just grab your favorite drink. I'm using cranberry juice myself, and
Coffee.
my goal is to not have to go to the bathroom before the end of the show. So we'll see how I get, if I can make it.
And that'll make the show faster.
If I'm drinking it all. Mark's, I think, has agnac.
I'm hanging out over here with Snoop Dogg.
Some gin. Gin. Oh, gin's our favorite drink.
Gin and juice.
Especially, we liked it before we went on our trip to England, but after we for sure, it cemented the deal. We had some good gin on our trip.
I know that we have some people in Australia watching, so
nice.
it's probably not good for them. They might just have a cuppa
Yeah.
instead of.
Could put a little, depending on, if you're
Just a cup of coffee.
Getting ready for work. May not recommend it. Getting a little bit of that yellow oxide and some more of that unbleached or burnt buff titanium. I keep wanting to call it unbleached titanium, but unbleached titanium is a Liquitex color, so this one is the golden version, which is buff titanium. They don't have it in the fluid, I don't think. The Liquitex doesn't. So I think I'm just going to kind of do this background pretty loose and leave some brush strokes showing. Just I don't need it to be all that fancy. As I approach where my orange is going to be, I'm going to kind of try to cut out around mostly where I think it's going to be. And I may end up having to correct this later, but I'll get it as close as I can. So I talked about drawing, and I know drawing is something that a lot of, it goes hand in hand with painting. It's not required, you can use traceables and things, but drawing really does help with your painting because it's all about seeing things. So if you learn to train yourself to see things better, then you're going to see things better as you paint too. And it's just going to help you overall. So one of the things that we've been working on with our patrons over on Patreon is a new series called Acrylic Painting Basics. And we're almost done with it. We've been going on for about half the year last year. And we've got a couple more sessions that we'll probably be doing before we're completely finished. But we've gone over things like, brush control, how to load your brush properly with paint, how to hold the brush, how to, know which brush to use. Color mixing was our last one, so we went over all about how to match a color and that kind of thing. And then this time we're going to go over values and that kind of thing. But once we're done with all of the, basics, I think what we're going to do is switch to drawing, and we'll have a monthly drawing session where we'll draw possibly some of the things that we're going to be painting later on in the month on YouTube, or just things that people submit to draw. Just do an hour-long drawing session once a month, just to get you kind of in that practice. And I'm using this background color now inside my glass here. But I think it'll be a good little thing to do together, and hopefully get people drawing, picking up the pencil and just, trying it, but, to give you a few of the tricks that I like to use to help me when I'm, trying to draw stuff. Because it can be tricky, especially if it's not something that you've, learned in school or that kind of thing. Okay, getting some white now. And I'm just going to kind of fill in this section with a little bit of white. I'm looking at where the reflections in the cup are happening. And I'm going to bring this out just a little bit farther past where I think it needs to go. Okay. There. I'm just going to kind of use some of this gray here. This orange has come up down into the cup. This one's down in the cup this way. There is like a little bit of ice here that's kind of gray. And over here too. we'll be putting in other colors in there, obviously. But okay, that'll get us a start. Really like that color background. I think we got it fairly close. The table that this was setting on was incredible. It was a piece of glass that had pearls and jewelry and fans and all kinds of, you remember that? Do you have a picture of it? I don't know.
I now remember where we were. I was like, where were we when we had this drinking out?
Yeah, this was in Bath. This was our hotel in Bath. It was a really cool hotel, very artistic. It was called Number 15. Number 15 Bath, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, and it was a really cool place. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of burnt sienna and add that to the burnt umber, burnt ultramarine blue mixture here. Just warm it up a little bit so it's a little bit different tone. And I think I want a little bit of a greenish tone, so maybe get a little bit of that yellow in there. Yellow oxide. But I'm not going to try to paint the table because it was too much. Yeah, there's part of it. You can see. But inside the entire tabletop was like that underneath. Which is a big piece of glass with all kinds of really cool little trinkets and pearly, fancy.
Yeah, it's like one of those hidden object puzzle.
Yeah, it really was. It was really cool. I took a video of it on my phone if I can get Mark to look it up maybe. But anyhow, so that's a whole other painting. I'm not going to try to do that with this. So I'm going to try to, though, get this kind of straight right here. So that'll probably need to come up. Either that needs to flatten out or I think maybe go like that. So bring that up just a little bit right there. Yeah, it was that was a fun trip. That was the trip that was the area where they were having the Jane Austen Festival. And so all the people right outside our hotel room were dressed in Regency walking down the street. If you ever get the chance to go to Bath, that's the time of the year to do it for sure. It was really, really fun. And I apologize because we were going to probably be talking about that trip for years to come. So you're just going to have to put up with it till we go on our next adventure. We never go anywhere.
Which is end of the month.
That was the first time in like 20 years we'd gone anywhere. So it was a big deal. Plus, for me, it was one of those places where I'd always wanted to go, England just in general. And I really do want to go back and go to Scotland and Ireland. We didn't get to go either of those places while we were there. But we had a good time. Going to Orlando at the end of this month with our granddaughter. So that'll be fun. And my son, too. But,
And her handlers.
priorities. What?
And her handlers.
Her handlers, yes. That was, I don't know if you noticed what was happening there, but that started lifting because this first layer that I did was wet. And so when I went over it, it kind of lifted it a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of smooth out the transition between this a little bit. But, all right, I think that'll be good. Good enough. Yeah, so if that's something that you're interested in as far as drawing goes and you want to improve your skills, that's something that we'll be doing with my patrons this year. I think I'm looking forward to it. Just never really, I used to do more drawing when I had longer videos and we were doing Saturdays, but I'm using more blue on this one now for the napkin. But yeah, like I just, I don't have time with us trying to kind of keep to a 2-hour limit. It's just not feasible to try to do a big drawing usually. Sometimes I can fit it in, but a lot of times it's just too complicated of a scene.
Okay, so that being said, the first challenge of our drinking game tonight
Okay.
is you need to take a drink if this is your first live stream
Oh,
with us.
okay. I don't have to take a drink.
Me either.
I've done it a few times.
You have? Okay.
It would be interesting to know how many times we've done this.
Once so far in 2025.
So if this is your first live stream, take a drink.
Yep.
Okay. Check. No, nothing so far. I feel like this probably needs to come down some more. I think And I think I'm going to keep this fairly loose as far as like a composition or, the stylistically. I don't think I'm going to get super detailed with at least with this area back in here. I'm not. Maybe in the drink itself, we'll see. I still have some orange there. I got some orange on my thing and didn't clean it out. That was for the reflection over there, but we'll fix it. All right, so there's our kind of start. It's a little bit messy, but I think it's gonna work. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's go ahead and use this brush. This is the 6 Bright, and I'll use this to fill in our oranges. And I think I'm going to use yellow to start. So I'm going to use my Cadmium Yellow Medium. Get a little bit of glaze. Ooh, that's really bright. I'm just going to kind of pop it in there, not super solid, but just kind of throw a little color on it. Wipe that out. Get my India Yellow. And then where the segments are, I'm going to kind of go in with the India Yellow and dab those. And try to get that kind of texture in the flesh a little bit, how it's got that those little orange segment things. So just kind of go along with the edge of the brush, kind of tap along those segments, and then sort of just inside dab. Add that darker color. Okay. We're going to go darker than that, but this is just kind of our starting point. It's pretty. I like the colors of this one. I notice it's funny, I don't intend to do this, but I end up usually with my schedule, I'll end up with a color that's kind of the predominant color. And all 3 of the ones that I picked this month were kind of orange, orangey leaning, orangey pink, colors. Next week we'll be doing the color, that's our Pantone color of the year, which will be fun. Do kind of a, I'm leaning towards maybe doing it in watercolor. I'm not really sure. So let me know in comments if you would like me to do it in watercolor or if you'd prefer just sticking with acrylics. I kind of get, mixed messages. Some people are really into learning a new medium, and some are like, no, just stick with acrylics. So, and I'm fine either way. It's nice to know, but if I get a ton of people saying, yes, please do in watercolor, I probably try it. I'm getting a little bit of burnt sienna now. Just adding a little bit of this in here. Again, trying to keep my brush strokes sort of loose and not get too fussy with this right now. I'm going to wipe this out, and I'm just going to blend out a little bit of that burnt sienna that I just put down, just by using that kind of dampish brush and pushing it around a little bit. Okay, going back to that Indian yellow.
Okay, our second drinking criteria is if you have had chocolate today.
If you've had chocolate today. Ooh, I gotta take one.
Me too. That's why I picked it.
I did have a piece of sea candy earlier after dinner. Yes. That was a good one. How good are you guys?
How honest. I know there's some New Year resolutioners out there, but come on.
It's true. How quickly have we broken our resolutions?
I could get you, I could say, if you've coughed more than once today.
Huh?
I said I could get you drinking a lot, if you've coughed more than once today.
That's, oh gosh.
If you've used more than 30 tissues.
You used a box?
Box of tissues.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to grab some of my gray here. I still have a little bit of yellow in my brush. I'm going to use it to do my little rind here. I want it to be lighter than you can see in the picture that this part is lighter than the background, so I want to make sure that my color is a little bit lighter than the background. So if it's not, then just add a little bit of water, or white, water. I'm going to leave a little bit of that orange behind it, though, in between there. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Even.
I'm a pro sometimes.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite Christmas gift this year?
My favorite Christmas gift. Ooh.
I'll go first.
What?
The all-clad.
Oh,
pan
your new pan that you got. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think of what I got. I got a couple of rings, which are nice. I got a purse, which was cuter in theory than it turned out to be practical. It was like a little Jane Austen book, Pride and Prejudice book purse, but it doesn't hold anything more than my wallet and phone, and barely that. Trying to remember what else I got. What did you get me?
What did I get you?
I don't know. Let me get more white here. I'm trying to remember what Santa got me.
This was just a week and a half ago, 2
I
weeks.
know, it's sad. Can't remember my own gifts.
I can't remember what I got you. So.
I know. Well, there you go. I guess my purse would be my favorite thing.
Got you tea. Got you some rings.
Yeah.
Got you a piece of art.
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's it. The art. Yeah. He got me a piece of art from Karen Margulis, the pastel artist, and I still haven't gotten it framed yet, but yeah, that's for sure my favorite. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Yep, that was really, really pretty. All right, using some white and using some yellow, like light yellow in my white here, just trying to get that little light on the edge of the rind, or not the rind, the orange. And then I'll put more in later, but let's go ahead and work on this one. I don't want to get too far into this one before I get this one going. So we'll get a little bit of white because I went over this with gray. Okay. So getting that India yellow.
I have a question.
Okay.
Second. I can get it to work. No, because I didn't get it to work.
No.
I did something. Okay, the person wants to know why you chose gloss medium over satin.
This is satin.
Okay.
It's satin. I used to use gloss. I switched with satin.
There it is. I got it to work.
It just depends, you know. It doesn't really matter. They're pretty close. Satin is a little less, you know, shiny, so if that bothers you. But I wouldn't. I don't like matte medium because matte medium has particles in it that help block shine, so it blocks the light from penetrating through and bouncing back, and that can dull the colors. So I just don't prefer using it in my art. It's just a thing. Some artists use it and don't have a problem with that, but I just don't. I don't want anything that might affect the colors that I'm using, so I don't use it. But satin's kind of in between, you know. It's not got as much mattifier. It probably has a little bit of that, but not as much as the gloss would, or the matte would, I mean. All right, so just little dibby dabs here to get the burnt sienna color kind of right along the rind there. And I need to have a little bit of it darker right here too, on that part.
Okay. Since you're thinking, gotta find what the next challenge is here. Let's see.
Gonna use my damp brush here and just blend out if I can get it before it's dry. Yeah. Okay.
All right, take a drink.
Uh-oh.
If you took a selfie today.
Oh, I did not.
I did not either.
Good. If you took a selfie, that's a good one. That'd be a...
There's only...
No judgment.
Well, no judgment, for sure. And in this suggested list that you sent me, there's one thing in the first round that I've done today.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm not...
Getting some orange here.
I'm not wearing lipstick.
Okay, that's the next one. Wearing lipstick. Yeah, no, me either.
Took a shower.
No.
No, it's my work from home day.
Yeah.
And we've been married for over 36 years, so no need to shower.
No, exactly.
Not trying to impress each other.
No. I definitely haven't been working out and getting sweaty, so.
This is true.
Oh, geez. Getting some orange and some yellow, India yellow, and I'm going to get some unbleached titanium and try to get a color for my orange rind. I had a little bit of burnt sienna in there too. We'll see, that seems a little bit weird, so I'm gonna get a little bit more yellow to it, maybe. There we go. It's a dried orange peel, so you know these are dried oranges. They're not super bright, but there is a little bit of that orangey color. I'm just gonna kind of tap along the edge there to get some of that color in. Let me see. Okay, 9:06. Just making sure that I don't run out of time here. I've got a lot of moving parts in this. I want to have time for the glass because it's a big part of it too. The orange to me is the most interesting part of it. Okay. Let me get a little bit of that white, a little bit of the blue-gray color to do the gray of the rind here. Of an orangey color, which is not bad actually. And I want to go a little bit darker over here, so I'm going to get a little bit of that burnt sienna. Mix that with that burnt umber or ultramarine blue white mixture here that I had for my rind, and do this one a little bit darker. Yeah, so we got RSV from our granddaughter. Everybody but, I think Mark has it too, but he had a very light, mild reaction to it. Me and Spencer are coughing up a lung. Have been for over a week and a half now, since Christmas. I started feeling sick day after Christmas, and yeah, so that's been my holiday.
Your post-holiday.
Huh?
Yeah,
my time off got
so
spent sick.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to have about 2 weeks off around the Christmas holiday, New Year's, for my company.
Right.
And you schedule your last show prior to that, so you have the 2 weeks off.
Yeah, so we have 2 weeks off together at Christmas time.
We had all the boys, their families, and Angela's parents in for 3-4 days around Christmas.
Yeah.
It was great. And they left, and then we normally have just this complete unplug shutdown,
Right.
where we don't know what day it is. There's no plans.
No place to be, nobody visiting.
Puzzles, video games, just complete
White.
mental relaxation.
Yeah.
Except for
Sick.
the cold.
Sick. The cold descended on us, and yeah, so I spent my vacation sick again. Same thing happened Thanksgiving. But it's worth it to have the grandkids visit. They bring the germs, but they
bring
also
the
bring the
love.
cuteness, so it's worth it. All right, so I'm gonna stop there for now. It's not done, obviously. Still got quite a bit to do on it, but I'm liking where it's going. So let's work on our drink. And then we'll come back to that. So I'm gonna get the orange, thank you. And this is the Pyrrole orange. I'm just gonna kind of put a loose orange wash over parts of it. And there's some in here that's yellow that I want.
Okay, so there's some
to
people.
leave yellow. What?
There's some people who are playing along the drinking game, but so far, they haven't had to drink because they haven't done any of those things. So
Okay.
they've suggested. So the next one is, if you've gone to the bathroom today, take a drink.
All right, here we go. Again, I am going to be lucky to make it to the end of the show.
Small sips for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get some white here. I need to.
I better not fall
Leave
asleep
it.
during Oak Island.
Yeah. I'm not the one with real alcohol in my drink, so. Okay. I'm gonna just sort of wash some of this light orangey color around. Okay. And then get some of that brighter orange. And boom, right in there. There's some really bright orange. There. Yeah.
Okay, the next one is, if you've had pizza this week.
Oh, okay. I have not.
So this week, starting like Monday, are we considering?
I don't know.
'Cause the last 7 days, didn't we do those little
Oh, yeah.
English
What
muffin
is a week?
pizzas?
Yeah. What do you consider a week?
Exactly.
Within 7 days? Then yes, I guess
Sure.
we did. All right. There we go. It's a good bet we'll have had pizza within a week every time. It's pretty
If you're in the South,
pretty much
in
a
America,
staple.
if
Yeah.
you've had Chick-fil-A.
Yes, yeah, you could substitute it for Chick-fil-A. Have you had Chick-fil-A today would be the question.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
We should do this each week.
Well, I'd like to do a whole series of these, so if you guys like this one, let me know. I'm looking for other. We didn't take very many photos of our cocktails. I had some really pretty ones, and this is the only one I got a really good photo of. I don't drink all that often, but I did during our trip. We had fun. Okay, come on. I can't get that stuff out of there. Gunked up in there. Okay. Get the... Okay.
So what are you painting this Thursday?
This Thursday, I am starting on a new one. I'm going to try to do a 3-week. Normally, I do my challenge video over multiple weeks. This time, we're just doing a 3-week one. And it's going to be a still life with a bird nest and some bottles and books. So, pretty simple. I think it'll be fun. But it was the one that was voted for us to do in our Facebook group. So my $15 tier on Patreon, they get to choose what they paint every month. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that group, and we get together every Thursday and work on something until it's done. So it's like a study group.
And it's an in-depth,
Yeah.
more detail,
Right.
start to finish, even the design concept.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. We do the drawing and design portions in there. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just what you see on a regular Tuesday night. All right, getting that unbleached or the burnt orange now. And I'm going to start adding those darker bits in here. Added a little bit of that red. Really the only place I'm seeing real red is right over here. There's a couple places though I might add it back in. It's just some little areas here and there. Let me get a little bit of the unbleached titanium, or I'm sorry, the glazing medium. I don't know why I said on that unbleached titanium. Glazing medium, and put it on here, and we'll add that to our ice. And it's going to look a little bit flat right now because we haven't really added our shading or our highlights to our water, you know. So once I start adding those highlights to the ice and things, it'll make these kind of start to stand out a little bit more. Get a little bit of the magenta and ultramarine blue. And then you can add either the burnt sienna or this burnt orange. But just make that dark burgundy color. And get a little bit of that glaze. I'm trying to just kind of put these in kind of thin layers so that I can build up the color slowly. Hoping that'll look a little bit more soft overall. There's just kind of some random shapes in the glass that we're seeing through. And then right over here, there's a really dark area. Okay.
All right.
Just using the corner of my brush here to create some angles and things. Time for another round?
Yep. If you've ever swum in the ocean,
Oh, Yeah.
If you've ever swum in more than one ocean.
Oh, there you go. I don't think I swam in the Atlantic.
You did?
I don't think so. I know I did in the Pacific, though. We swam way out. We were dumb. We were really dumb. Me and my girlfriend, we would stay every summer on the coast with her family, on the beach, and basically camp out, in a tent. They had a little trailer that the parents stayed in, but she and I were in a tent, and spend a week just swimming and stuff. And one of the times we swam way out past where we should have. Way out past the breakers. And we were both good swimmers, but that was stupid. Now, looking back on it, I'm sure we weren't supposed to do it. All right, so getting closer. And I like that I'm starting with those lighter colors and working towards a darker. Normally with acrylics, I work dark to light, but with this one, I'm trying to do kind of the opposite, more of a watercolor technique where I start light and go dark because I feel like we're getting more luminosity with our colors this way, doing it kind of glazing style. So I'm liking how it's working so far. So good. All right.
This would be more fun if you had my drink. I'd just like to see how it progresses.
It'd be a lot harder to be painting, that's for sure. I don't think I would be doing a very good job.
All right. How about take a drink if you've ever been on TV?
You were on TV? When were you on TV?
We were on TV. Little Rock. We were interviewed for the Little Rock Zoo
Oh, that's right.
by the local news people.
I remember that. Yeah. Yes. I don't know if that counts, but yes, that does count. I guess.
It was on TV.
True. All right, using the red here. I kind of mix the orange with the red. I'm going to just dab in kind of a little bit of this red where I'm seeing that line of the liquor going across, slashing across. Okay. It's getting pretty close to, now I'm kind of looking at my values, so I can see that there's a little area right in here in my picture where it's darker. So I need to add a little bit of that, a little bit darker right in here. So I'll get the burnt umber and ultramarine blue. And just go in there, kind of in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of tap in along that edge of the glass for now, just so that I kind of have that built out, know where to put it. Somewhere in there. darken up a little bit of that. Yeah, so that kind of comes out like that, I think. Trying to get those angles right. So kind of at this point, I'll stop and look at it overall and look at my reference and look at my darkest areas and see and make sure that I've gotten my darkest areas here dark enough so I can see right along here. It needs to be much darker, and probably these two spots also, and then all in here needs to be quite a bit darker, and probably the darker parts on my orange here need to be darker, and maybe a little bit darker underneath this slice and some of these little areas in here. So let me switch to a little smaller brush. I think I'm going to use the 2 round now and change it so that I can get in here in some tighter spots and start actually putting in some detail. And we can also work on some of this down here because there's quite a few of the darker bits down here that I haven't done yet either. So
Okay.
I need to blow my nose real quick.
All right. I'll mute us. We're back. All right.
Sorry.
What should we see?
Sorry, scared you. Sorry. I thought I was done.
All right. Well, then take a drink if you've met somebody famous.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picking all the ones I know that you've done.
Who's yours?
Well, we met Jack Nicholas.
Yep.
You've met Mr. Bill Clinton.
Yes. I shook his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Michael Jackson. And
A young Michael Jackson.
yeah. And back in the 80s. 83, 82, 83, something like that. Pat Boone sang with him at our church way back when.
Who's that? We didn't actually meet him, but we ran into him. That guy that sang that "Don't Worry, Be Happy" song.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah, we rode an elevator with him.
Well, they were coming off the elevator as we were getting on,
Okay. Yes.
and
I
after the
remember
door
it well.
closed, after the door closed, we were like, "Hey, wasn't that?"
That was, yeah. Yep. Okay.
On Liberace.
I did. I trick-or-treated at Liberace's house. I got
Yeah.
candy from him.
Angela grew up in Palm Springs, so she got to hit all the famous houses.
Yeah. We got the big chocolate bar. Although Liberace had little hard
Candies.
round candies. You know, the little crunchy kind.
And Angela called them out.
I was only 8.
Whatever.
I didn't know better. I didn't even really know who he was. He was very sweet because he saw me looking for better candy, and he was like, he asked me, you know, what if I was looking for something. I can't remember what he asked. Something, and I said, "Do you have any chocolate?" Oh, bless him. Yeah. He was there with his bodyguards.
Yeah.
I don't know. It had a big tablecloth, you know, laid out, all out. Very fancy. It was really cute. very sweet. I mean, you know, like he was having a great time. And of course, this little kid asking if he's got chocolate. He was very sweet. He said, "No, I'm
So
sorry."
I wonder if the next year he had chocolate.
He didn't. I don't know. I don't think he did it again that I saw. I mean, we'd go by that area every year usually, but that was the first time that he'd been out there. That had to be, gosh, 70, 78, 79, you know, somewhere in there. Yep. We did not live in that neighborhood, by the way. So just to make very clear,
You weren't next door neighbors?
we were not. We were those people who blessed our kids, you know, came in.
Yeah.
I think that's why I enjoy our neighborhood Halloween so much, because we now are host to the kids being brought in from other neighborhoods all over town. We've got a good neighborhood for trick-or-treating. It's not like super fancy houses, but it's just they're close together and it's safe, you know. It's a nice middle-class area, and yeah, so I enjoy it. All right, again, a little bit of that gray. Just made some more of that gray with the burnt umber and burnt sienna, or burnt umber and ultramarine blue with white, and then I'm adding the India yellow with white to it to make kind of a gray for my orange peel here. And it just needed to be light enough so I can see it against that background. It's not showing up, so I need to add more white to it until it shows up. So yeah, that's my favorite Halloween. I still kind of cringe every time I think about it. It's funny, but also just kind of like, oh my gosh, cannot believe I did that.
I wonder how many times you were talked about
Yeah.
in parties after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
His bodyguards telling their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one girl called him out for not having good
Not
candy.
having good candy. Yep. It's so funny. Yeah.
All right, how about you take a drink if you've been on a cruise?
Nope.
I'll give you a little bit of a break.
Thank you. You picked that one just for me, didn't you?
And myself, too.
And you're trying to pace yourself. That's not fair. You get to choose whether you drink or not. There's a little bit of a rigged system here. Get a little bit of white here, just dabbing on the brightest parts here. And I really like how this looks with the light hitting the rind. It was just hitting just right too. It was really beautiful. And I'm going to go just above this dark line with my white highlight on the rim of the glass. I'm going to go a little bit darker with the... Well, no, it needs to be lighter because that background is lighter in the picture. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter. There we go. And then just really bright white here, kind of right up along this part. Okay, not bad. Getting there.
All right, you need to take a drink if you own a tube of QBO.
Oh, really?
See, I don't have to drink.
It's in your house. Technically, you own it too.
No, it's part of the business.
Quinacridone burnt orange, she means, in case you didn't know what that QBO is. The real one, not the new one. The original.
Imposter.
I know. I hate that they discontinued it. It's like one of my favorite colors.
There's an interesting one on here that I don't know if you've done or not.
Okay.
I don't know if I should ask
All right.
it, though.
What is it?
If you've gone skinny dipping.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. When I was younger, for sure. The neighbors, my friend and I all used to do it. For real, in her pool.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I wasn't with boys. No. I wasn't that brave.
Jazz said chunky dipping.
What'd you say?
Jazz said chunky dipping.
Chokey dipping?
Chunky.
Chunky dipping? That's funny. That's what it would be nowadays, for sure. Yes, you have, because, well, okay, I'm not going to say. You have.
Okay. We'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah, I don't want to call you out in public. But
Or how about if you have a tattoo?
I don't.
I don't.
Not lack of wanting one.
You came close.
I did come close. I just couldn't pick one.
You were there.
I was there with my friend. She got one. And I chickened out. Well, I take that back. The tattoo artist was like, "Oh, you're an artist. You need to draw your own." And I'm like, "Well, I don't."
There's pressure there.
Yeah, exactly. And then I didn't really have anything that, I wasn't going to draw it on the spot. So he was like, "But you need to, if you're going to do one, you should do your own artwork, So I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're probably right." And then I never went back.
So I guess mine would be a stick man.
A little bit of white, a little bit of red here, just kind of touching up little bits of.
My choosing is very narrow, either stick man or a row house or a swan.
What are you talking about? Oh, what you've painted?
Yeah, if I had to do my own art.
Oh, yeah. You've had to do my one of these days you'll have to pick your own what you want to paint. Paint yourself a tank.
Oh, man, we'll have to do a Mark paints. Mm-hmm. Mark follows along Angela's tutorial.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, would that guy shut up? I'm trying to learn how to paint.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so getting a little bit of that darker gray here, and just dirtying up our rind. Adding the little, shadows and dips in it.
So what was it about this drink that you didn't like?
It was too bitter. And it was really strong. It didn't have a lot of sweet in it. It was, I think it was called a Negroni. And
It's made with bitters.
Yeah, it was bitters and I think Prosecco and gin, maybe. But it was just too strong. Like, I like my drinks sweeter, so that I can't really tell there's alcohol in it. And this was very strong alcohol flavor. Yeah. And it, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't one that I enjoyed. And no, I wouldn't buy it again. I'm trying to get this top here a little softened off, so gonna have a hard line here between the gray and the white. I'm just kind of trying to get that a little bit more. A bit more soft. I don't know. It is pretty dark gray though. Get a little bit more of that gray. Kind of right along that red of the rind. Go a little bit darker. Right. Well, we're getting there. It's starting to feel like feel like it. Let me get a little bit of this orange and some yellow. Go back over here and touch that up a little bit. Just right along that edge. And then I'm going to get some burnt umber, or burnt sienna, I mean. And let's just add some dark in here. So I'm just going to kind of create like a little cells, kind of. Just little dabby brush strokes so that they're going in. They look like those little orange pieces all along that edge there. And then we'll go in really dark with the brown to fill in those seeds. I'm gonna wipe that out and get that brush and just kind of soften off that. And I'm just kind of smudging out those edges a little bit. Okay, so now I want my white, and I'm gonna come through here and just dab in a little bit of light white sparkles in a couple places. I'm seeing it's really kind of more yellow than white, but and then let's get that burnt umber into nice dark seeds.
You said burnt sienna and what?
Burnt sienna. This is just burnt sienna.
Okay.
And then before it was burnt. This is burnt umber. Before I was using burnt sienna for this part. Burnt sienna and a little bit of yellow and purple and orange. All right, what's our next one?
If you've ever gone ziplining.
Nope. Nope, no, and no. Never will, never want to. Zero interest in that. Hard pass.
Come on.
Nope.
It's going to be fun.
Yep. Nope.
You could then become one of those wildlife photographers down there in the jungle.
No. Oh my gosh, yeah, we were watching that show. What was that show? The animal, Secret Life of Animals on Apple, which was really good, by the way. And yeah, they did a zip line to follow the orangutans up into the trees. And oh my gosh, no. No, thank you.
And it's incredible because they're showing the behind the scenes, and you got all the people in helmets and safety harnesses and ropes and gear and doing all this stuff, and then you just got the orangutans just climbing on everything, just swinging around, having fun, hundreds of feet, literally hundreds of feet off the ground.
Yep. It was pretty something else. That was neat. It wasn't just them that were in the show, but yeah, it was what the zip line part of what it was.
All right, how about if you've ever ridden a horse? Against my will.
Yes, I made Mark do it. Mark's first horse ride was epic. We were in Mexico on the coast, and he must have gotten the oldest nag, swayback nag, that I've ever seen. I mean, this horse its belly was almost touching the ground. And the guy was like, had you ever ridden? He's like, no. And so I think he thought that you were probably going to figure it out, because he just kind of stuck him on a horse and was like, okay, good luck with this, And when I start going on the trail, and I look back, and Mark's literally holding the reins up about 2 feet in front of his face, just straight out. It was so funny. And the horse is turning around, going back to where?
Going the other direction.
Going back to the thing. And I'm like, where are you going? And he's just holding it out. He didn't have a clue how to steer it. Oh my gosh, I just died laughing. It was so funny.
I was trying to use all the skills I had learned watching Westerns.
Yeah. That was so funny. Oh my gosh.
And the guide, he comes up and he gets the horse turned around, and I'm trying to go, so I'm kind of like shaking the reins like you see them in the movies, and it's not going anywhere. And we are on this cliff that the drop off, it's not like 90 degrees, but it's probably a good 30-degree slope.
Yeah.
It's not insignificant.
Right.
And you're just walking on this narrow 2-foot trail.
Yeah.
And he comes up behind that horse and he slaps it on the back end. And that horse takes off. I thought I was going to die. I thought it was going to fall off.
Of course, the whole time, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
We were right on the coast. There were flowers everywhere. I am in heaven. And I'm just like, this is beautiful. And poor Mark is like fearing for his life the entire time.
I was going to die that day. Fall off the edge of the cliffs into the ocean in Mexico.
We had very different experiences.
Same place, same day.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally different experiences.
Very different memories of that day. Yeah. Yeah.
Haven't done much horse riding since then.
No, we didn't. No. Unfortunately. All right, I'm getting some more white here. Just going to go along this rim here. Try to get a little bit brighter pop of color right there. a little bit of a highlight there, but you don't need to have that, like, you know, outline all the way around. In fact, it's not there, so I'm not gonna put it there unless I'm seeing it. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of this burnt orange and blue and magenta, and I'm going to go in here and kind of clean up this edge of the drink. Put that dark color right along that edge there. It comes down. Now, I'm just darkening up a little bit, a couple of places here. And then getting that magenta and cadmium red, or pyrrole red, here for this little area. Okay. Are you falling asleep over there? That's the bad thing about you drinking. You're going to fall asleep. We don't want Mark to fall asleep.
Is this almost over?
I know.
Okay, how about if you've gotten anything pierced?
Okay, well,
See, I don't
in
have to
my
drink
ears.
that. I don't have to drink there, so that's good. How about sung karaoke?
I have. Not in public. Does it count? If it's at home?
I would say that it would have to be in public.
Okay. I have not. Oh, yes, I have. I did. Yeah, I did it at a women's conference. At the church, yep.
Women's conference.
Yep. That was actually pretty fun. I'm not a good singer, though. All right, using this kind of more magenta-y color here. Adding, it's starting to come together, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how just these layers just kind of slowly building up. I'm going to get some of that burgundy color again over here. And then there's like kind of some pitting and different things in the ice where it's kind of crackly. And if it's too, obvious, you can kind of use your finger to help kind of tap it around. Starting to get there. Slowly but surely. Let's go ahead and start on working on this bottom area here, because there's quite a few little highlights and things going on here. That's kind of gray right there. I'm just gonna kind of use the color wherever I'm seeing it, and then we'll switch to the next color. A little bit darker right there. Okay. Yeah, so there's bright yellow over here that I kind of lost. So I'm going to get some yellow and try to put that back in right here. And then there's a couple spots in here where there's some yellow. I like how the ice against the glass made it so that there's not like a solid line across, like it's pushed up against the glass, and so the water line is moving, you know, like up and down, and it's fairly interesting. Makes it much more interesting to me. This line of it showing. Instead of going across like it would if it didn't have the ice in it, it's, you know, got, well, you get the idea. Got the ice pressed up against the edge of the glass, causing it to change shape. All right, so getting some of that gray, and I'm gonna tap in the gray. Now this is where I'll start to kind of define parts of the glass itself too.
All right. How about if you've been on a train?
Yes. That's one that I would think most people have, but could be wrong. Guess it depends on where you live in the world.
And I'm not sure how to qualify this one here. Eaten sushi.
If you've eaten sushi.
So I have technically tried it.
Yeah.
I've had more than one piece.
Well, then, yeah, you've eaten
Okay.
sushi. Yeah.
All right. But it's not something like, oh, yeah, I'm ordering sushi.
It doesn't matter if you've eaten it. Time to tell Spencer to tone down the yelling.
Better angle of
What?
better angle of the puppy there, finally. He's finally got into his bed.
Oh, snuggled up. Feces.
Yeah. He was half out of his bed earlier, so
Oh, yeah.
couldn't get a good picture.
He's like, ugh.
I'm so bored.
So bored. Mom is doing her thing again. Can't snuggle. Okay. So this one is going to be right here. I'm going to get some yellow and some of my white. So these are kind of dependent on, they're not all the same color. Some of them are like, this one's darker and has kind of a gray. This one has more of that blue gray all the way up, just about. And this one has a little bit of, kind of clean it up a little bit. It's got dark on this one side. And this one is light-ish right here. It's kind of where this comes in. These come up, so where these are, you can kind of tell where the part comes up. I'll go ahead and use the yellow on these, and then we can add the dark if we need to. I'm kind of dry brushing it too, so it's going on a little bit more loosely. Okay. Getting closer. A little bit closer each time. Okay, getting a little bit more white here. I'm gonna kind of go on this ice here and just add little bits of highlights there. Now, it's a little obvious, so I'm gonna wipe my brush out and just sort of smooth it around and tap back over it to soften it off. I can use my finger and kind of dab it off. I usually use my finger kind of like a paper towel almost and just pull off some extra stuff if it goes on too noticeable at first. There's definitely some sparkles on the ice over here though. Okay, and again, you can kind of use your finger and push it around if you want. I'm going to get a little bit brighter white and just go back in and add a few little really bright bits. And then again, kind of make sure that line is bright. There's a really bright little highlight right there. And there's a couple of them on that. There's some lines through right here. There's one little real bright one right there. There's a little bit of brightness right there. Okay, and then let's kind of go down here and hit some of these little sparkles that are along the rim here. I didn't really finish the colors on this, so I gotta continue to go through here and do colors. There's kind of little white bits though that help separate this line here. Get a little bit of burnt umber and maybe a little bit of the unbleached titanium with the white. And really more dark than this. I need it a little bit darker. There we go. Some really dark. And let me get some of the burgundy color. And I'm going to go on this side of the highlight here and add a little bit of that. Especially on this one. There's a little bit of the dark with that light highlight. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our shadow because we don't have any shadow underneath our cup right now on our napkin. That'll help. So I'm going to use that burnt orange color and some glaze. And I'm just going to go kind of around this area. Don't do too much of an area because what you need to do is while that's still wet, you need to kind of smush it out. So just put a little bit in there and then pull it out from the edge. If you're getting a lot of lines, you can use your finger to help kind of smush it around. Okay. I'm just going to kind of dry brush scumble it almost the rest of this because this part, the light's coming from here and so it's sort of hitting it and not really coming down too far. In fact, I probably didn't have to come down any farther than like right in here. There we go. All right, I need to go a little bit darker, but I need to let that dry. So I can't touch it up right this second. Now I'm going to get some white. And I'm just going to kind of go over our napkin a little bit. There. Sort of our edges of our napkin. may bring that down a little bit. Okay. It's kind of fuzzy, you know, it's like a little bit undefined, but I don't hate it, so kind of looks sort of blurry, which is fine with me. I didn't ever really define that back end of it. Get a little bit of the burnt umber, a little bit darker color. And I'm just going to use my ruler so I get it kind of straightish. Wipe that out and just smudge out that edge. Oh, that dried almost immediately, didn't it? Look at that. That's crazy. That line like just set in. I'm gonna have to do a little triage here. Some unbleached titanium with that color and just push it back. Okay. Just blending that out a little bit. Okay. I do like that the angles have that, then that, you know. It's got a really good number of angles happening that's kind of like leading the eye around. If it just had that and that, you know, this wasn't there, it might, you know, kind of skew it this way because this is also going in that direction. But having these two lines come this way and these two kind of coming up to this, and I don't know, I really like how it's all kind of, yeah, it is. It's nicely done. I like how it's working for me, so I like it. The composition's working. I'm gonna get a little bit of that dark color, and I'm just going to put it up underneath that napkin a little bit, just slightly, there and there. And then make sure that's dry. I'm going to get just a little bit of this darker color, and I'm just going to put it right in the, tuck it right in that darkest little bit right in there. I'm going to use a smaller brush.
So I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know, do you recommend using a stay wet palette?
Only if you're like in a really humid area and, you know, I would say they are good if you're in a really, or not humid, in a really dry area and you have a real hard time keeping your paints wet while you're working. They're great, but I find that they mold on me. Like if you're using them to store paints, I think there's better ways of doing it. I think I wouldn't use one. If you're just using it to kind of hold your paints and keep them wet in between uses, then I would just use a foam plate and a baggie. And that's what I did for years, and it worked just fine. And, okay. I don't love it. It's a little bit messy, but it's close enough. Getting a little bit of the orange and some white here. But yeah, they tend to mold, because if you don't go in and spray them and keep them happy and moistened and not moistened really. It's basically I don't know. I really don't know. It's like they mold. So you get mildew and stuff on your palette, and then your paints are ruined anyway. So it's like it kind of defeats the point of doing it. So, but if you're painting often enough, then maybe it's worth it. But if you're leaving it for a week or whatever, in between uses and expecting that paint to still be usable, it's not going to be. It's going to end up having molded and gotten crusty and weird. So I haven't found a trick for using them that's worked for me. So. Just trying to add some little bits here and there. Get that yellow. This part down here is the trickier. Oh, you know what I didn't notice that's doing this? It's splitting off. So there. That's why I'm seeing these kind of rectangular shapes, because this is splitting off. Yeah, it's cut right there at an angle, and so these are cut in right there. That makes more sense. And these shadows and highlights and things that I'm seeing, because they're kind of cutting down through. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this overall, though. I mean, I'm sure there's more I could do to it, but you get the idea. I'm going to add a little bit of white with a little bit of pink. Right here. Coming up.
All right, so you need to take a drink if you think they're going to find treasure on Oak Island. How come you're not drinking, hon?
It's a big fat no.
Jeez.
I want them to, yes. Do I think they will? No. I don't. I've lost faith. I've lost.
12 season ends, you've lost.
I've lost
faith.
it.
Okay.
I have to say, I'm no longer a believer. Okay. I think I'm gonna think about stopping here. I've got a few more things I want to do, but get some yellow here, and I'm just gonna kind of highlight down right there. See a kind of a highlight in the glass. A little bit right there. Okay. Get a little bit of white and touch right in here. There's like some, like right there where that highlight is, there's actually some kind of shine from the glasses, or from where that shadow area is. There's some like spillover highlight kind of shining around the edge of the glasses too. So trying to get that in. And then get that bright white highlight right there. Just trying to see where I'm seeing maybe some highlights. Some little white bits. I think I pretty much got the oranges where I like them. This one is a little longer than in the picture, maybe, but I think we got it close. I feel like I got probably the edge of that glass a little bit weird since it's like kind of dark right there. Maybe some of that unbleached titanium and burnt umber. Let me just clean that up just a little bit. Right there.
All right, we'll finish
Do you
this
see
up.
anything that I missed?
No, I don't think so. I've been watching. I think you got the colors pretty good.
What?
I think you got the colors pretty good.
Okay.
There's
Getting some white here, or some of that background color here. Gonna highlight inside the glass there a little bit. What?
I see that you still have some liquid left, so we'll finish up rapid shotgun round here.
Okay.
All right, if you've ever broken a bone.
No, I have not.
Yeah, me either. I've chipped one.
Chipped one, but not broken.
Skipped school. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Been skydiving?
No.
Nope. Ridden in a limo?
Ridden in a limo? No. I haven't.
I don't think I have either. Watch Star Wars.
Well, yeah. Do we have to drink multiple times for each time we watched it? Because we could be here a while.
Gotten a ticket.
Oh, yeah. I'm out. I'm out. That did it. I was 30-something before I got my first ticket, though. On the way to
No bonus points for that.
take the kids to school. I had 3 kids in 3 schools. It was an impossible task. All right, there we have it. I like how it turned out. It was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Share it if you know a friend that might like to paint. It always helps. It also gives our video a boost if you give it a thumbs up. I know we say it, but it really does help quite a lot in the algorithm. It helps the algorithm know, the YouTube almighty algorithm know, that you enjoy our videos and that other people who like these kind of videos might enjoy them too. So it really does help us out quite a bit by doing that. It's a small thing, but it really does help a lot. And yeah, we'll got a lot of really fun videos and ideas for this year. I'm really excited to be back painting with you guys, and hope you guys are ready for another year of it. We've been doing this for 14 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah, 14 years
Cannot
this
believe.
past weekend.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Now, we haven't been doing the tutorials and the live streaming exactly the same, but it's been, 14 years since my first video, just about almost.
As of January 5th.
Yep,
Incredible.
crazy.
Yeah. And thank you so much to the amazing people who support through all the years. Last year, you
Yes.
guys were amazing. Looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
And we started off the year with a
Super chat.
super chat.
Sweet. Very sweet. Angela M. Happy New Year. Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
Happy New Year to you too. Really glad to be back with you guys and painting and sharing life, being silly. If you enjoyed our drinking game, let us know in comments too. We'll do more like this. I enjoyed it. It was fun having some questions
It's
and
good.
just topics of chat to meander.
And for those who
Add a
are
little bit of gray here. Sorry. Go
who are
ahead.
new, just finding Angela, she has over on Patreon the traceables
Yes.
at the $5 level. Traceables for going back through 2017. You have access to all of them, all the
of
free stuff
tutorials. Yeah.
that she's done here on YouTube. So check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to go to my website, you can see my website is thankfulart.com. I've got a newsletter that we send out once a week, and just to let you know what we're doing. And also you can browse the literally hundreds of videos that we've done over those 14 years of being on YouTube. There's been a few, so we've done a lot of fun stuff with you guys. So hopefully you'll find one that you like. And if you do it, share it with me on my socials. I've got all the links down in the description and also places to buy if you're looking for, supplies. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Happy New Year.